Welcome to this video on the How Do I series on Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2016. In this video, we will look at the new web client features in Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2016. So at the end of this video, you will have an overview of all these new features of the web client that will improve your daily use of Microsoft Dynamics NAV. And we will get there by following these steps. In Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2016, the web client begins the journey of transformation into a first-class desktop experience. Enhancements follow the themes of simplicity, productivity, and performance, wrapped up in a fast and fluid interface designed for keyboard and mouse. Some favorite features from the Windows client now also appear in the web client. In Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2016, most Dynamics NAV users will find that the web client strikes the perfect balance of simplicity and productivity needed for their daily use. In terms of administration, it allows zero-footprint deployment and is easier to access from the office, at home, or on the go. There are over 60 enhancements in the web client to improve productivity and efficiency. Some of these are also available for the tablet client. Similar to Office, we now also have a My Settings menu in NAV. So here you can see the options that we can use. So the first thing that I can do is change the language. Now, because I'm using a Belgian license, I can switch between English, French, and Dutch. Now, besides changing the language, I can also select the region I want to work in. So currently I've selected the Danish region, but by using the lookup, I can also search for the Belgian region. So let me just stick with the Danish one and have a look what else we can do. So here we can also change between different time zones. But also here I will keep the time zone currently selected. And then last but not least, we can also go to the company. So here I can open another company. So what we need to do is select the company, then sign out and sign in again. Now this is something that I can do very easily. So let me just sign out. And if I click on sign in again, you will see now that the company has switched to Cronus Training. Now the last thing that I can do in my settings is change the work date. So if I go back, I can go there to the work date, and with the date picker I can select another work date. Important to know, this is also available on the tablet and the phone client, which means that my settings are portable across all my devices. The My Settings page is fully customizable. It's an application page like any other. Now, using the My Settings means that administrators no longer have to set up multiple web server instances just to provide multiple languages or access to different companies. User can self-sufficiently choose from any of these settings while connected to the same web server instance. Performance is not just about how quickly a page loads onto your screen. You also need to be able to efficiently navigate and scroll. Now, you can use keyboard navigation on page search. With the up-down keys, I can search or I can scroll between the different records. And if I want to select one, I can just hit the Enter key. The web client now supports the freeze pane, which developers have specified on certain pages. The freeze pane constantly keeps my leftmost fields in view as I scroll. Since these are typically key fields, I always know which record I'm looking at if the repeater has many columns. And note how it beautifully snaps one column at a time so that the column values are fully visible. On pages where a freeze pane was defined, either through the freeze pane property on page or through configuration, the web client will respect that freeze pane. However, on pages where no freeze pane was defined, the web client will automatically apply a freeze pane on the very first column. The freeze pane is also available on the tablet. One of the most used functions in a list is the one that you can use to hide or show columns. Let me demonstrate you how we can do this in the web client. So for example, if I click here on the unit price field, I can hide the column by selecting Hide Column. Now I can do the same by simply right-clicking on a field. And you can see the same options, so here I can also hide the unit cost column. Now in order to show these columns again, I can again right-click and go to the Choose Columns function. Here I can simply select unit cost and unit price if I want. So let me scroll down a little bit and also choose another field. So in this case, I will also choose the production bill of material number, and I will click on OK. And as you can see now, the unit cost and unit price fields are visible again. And if I scroll to the right, I can also see the production bill of material number appearing. To select multiple rows, I can go to one of the lines in my list, click and select more. Next, I can start selecting rows by using the checkboxes in front of the row. I can very easily select everything or unselect everything, and I can make a selection of the rows I want. Also notice the continuous scrolling. So if I scroll down, I can select also here the lamp and the bell. So now I've selected multiple rows, and if I now click on the Home tab of the ribbon, you can also see that only specific ribbon actions are available. If I remove my selection, everything becomes available again. And if I select again, you can also see only specific actions. A function that many users will like is the search as you type function. So here in the search of the item list, if I enter chair, you will see only items with chair in the description appearing. So if I type London, I'm only left with one item, the London swivel chair. Now also interesting to know is that you can use your filter criteria. So for example, let me enter here this specific search term, and you will see now that only the Paris guest chair and the London swivel chair are displayed. To exit the page, you can use now the cross at the top right of that page. So for example, if I go to an item, I can easily close the cart by clicking on the cross. However, another way to exit pages is by clicking at the left side on the underlying page, as I'm showing here. Entering dates in editable lists became much easier because of the date picker you can now use. So for example, here on my sales order lines, if I scroll to the right, I can change, for example, the planned delivery date by using the date picker. In general, date pickers were great on touch devices, and that's why Microsoft also made available this feature on the tablet and phone client. In lookup fields, we can now use the keyboard shortcut Alt down. So for example, if I click here on the cell 2 city, I can just hit Alt down and I can start searching for the city I want to select. Also notice that the freeze pane function and continuous scrolling also applies to subpages such as the sales order lines. When looking up data, I can also use my keyboard. So for example, if I enter LON in the cell 2 city field, all cities with LON are displayed. I can also very easily extend my search criterion by just entering DO, which now shows London. Also notice that lookup is applied cross-column. So for example, in cell 2 city, if I enter CV6, the system very easily also searches on the code field. In this video, I covered following topics. First of all, I positioned the web client, and then I demonstrated the web client enhancements. More information on the Microsoft Dynamics NAV web client you can find on these resources. Thank you for watching this How Do I video on the Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2016 web client. This video was brought to you in collaboration with Microsoft and Platan.